Gan Sing Wei. John. Oh, so you're John. He Tian Lin. Julie Copier. Hui Qiao. Alright, you may start now. Are you recording already?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, Dr. Wilson. I'm John. These are my teammates, Xinwei, Cindy, Hui Qiao, and Julie. So today we're going to talk about ethical consumerism. So next slide. Yeah. So it's about understanding consumers' behavior towards ethical products. In particular, our main focus will be studying what are the factors that leads to people like purchasing ethical products. So this is the flow, the agenda of what we will be covering today. So we will be covering research questions, methodologies, all the way to our analysis, findings, as well as our recommendations. Okay, for methodologies, right, we are using a mixed method approach. So we will be using both quantitative and qualitative. So in particular, we are using a big quant and small quant. So for quantitative, we are using Google Forms. So it comes as a survey questionnaire. And for qualitative, right, we are using face-to-face interview, but in a focus group setting. And we'll be using explanatory sequential design. And we started off with quantitative research. So basically, right, after collecting and analyzing the quantitative data, qualitative data will be then conducted so as to get further insights and details based on the results of findings. And for qualitative research, right, it will be conducted via a semi-structured, so with some open-ended questions. So the questions will not be so formal and so structured. Okay. Next, for convenience, for quantitative data, right, we are using convenience sampling. So as you can see, online survey, right, will be simply posted online, so people can choose whether they want to do the online survey or not. So it helps to save time and also reduce the cost of the research as well. Yeah, since online survey is easily available. Yeah. Okay, so before every analysis and findings, right, we always have to come up with research questions. So these are our research questions. So basically, we are trying to find out, does purchase intention result in people buying ethical products, and how personal or moral as well as social influence can affect ethical consumption, and last but not least, right, how can CSR influence the behavior of ethical consumption? So now I'll hand over to Xinwei. She will explain more about the analysis through SPSS.
So hi, I'm Xinwei. So I will be explaining our analysis. So this is our hypothesis. So our three hypotheses of our independent variables will include social influence, purchase intention, and corporate social responsibility, which is also CSR. All of this will lead to our dependent variable, which is ethical purchase. So the first one that was tested in the SPSS was social influence vs CSR. So for the chi-square, we can see that, right, it's a 0.000, which means that it associated with our hypothesis. And however, for our ordinal by ordinal, for our ordinal by ordinal is 0.3, shows that social influence and CSR has a relationship with each other that will lead to purchase. So for the next one will be social influencers plus purchase intention. So for this one is the chi-square is 0.001, which means there's a association to our hypothesis and hence our hypothesis is true. However, for the ordinal by ordinal is 0.534, which means that both social influence and purchase intention does not have a relationship with each other. The final one that was tested was CSR plus purchase intention. Once again, the hypothesis for true chi-square is 0.0, which means there's a relationship. However, for the correlationship between CSR and purchase intention is 0.539, yet there isn't a relationship between CSR and purchase intention. The next one is our qualitative result. This one is based on our survey question to further understanding why they choose these points, and some of it include environmental friendly. Most of them are care for animal cruelty more than other points, and family and friends purchasing decision is a lesser choice. And for peer impression for the social factor, most of them think that it's very important for them to use the impression from their family and friends, and most of them will support ethical purchase. However, some will not due to its very high price. So I will be passing on to Cindy for a discussion.
Hello, I'm Lynn. Now I continue with discussion. This part saw the finding together with reference to qualitative and quantitative data. And you see both the social influence and personal choice strongly influence the decision made by the ethical consumers. The focus group support ethical costs by default, but are also heavily influenced by peer and because media and many social media. As you can see from the analytics, consumers tend to buy things for their needs and wants apart from social pressure. Majority of the focus group believes that purchasing from a company with environmentally friendly practice is beneficial for the society. As you can see more, the focus group 5 is reasonable to spend more to support ethical products with an emotional attachment to be part of ethical consumption. More customers will be loyal to their business, resulting in long-term benefits for the business. I will. Next is my teammate.
When we conducted our research, we experienced the limitations and we encountered also some issues. Number one is allocated duration of study is too short. 3 to 4 weeks is too short to complete the full questionnaire survey, from formulation of questionnaires, distribution of questionnaire surveys to target audience, collation, and analysis of data inputs. Number 2 is difficult to set questions related to the hypotheses outlines in selected articles, because each articles have their own hypotheses and we have to collect a few related hypotheses to form our questionnaires. For the focus group, we experienced the limitation of small sample size. So because due to shortage of resources, we have decided to use our fellow students from other modules, which is not really representative of the entire population. For difficult to maintain direction of discussion, when we did a focus group, we experienced this difficulty because some of the interviewees are also interested about ethical consumerism, hence tends to deviate the given questionnaires. Difficulty in sourcing participants for a representative sample because people don't volunteer to do survey because it takes time. Limited resources to set venue. We use the study room as a location of our focus group interview. And we experienced some distractions from also other fellow students. For the questionnaire survey, it's lack of transparency because we cannot truly assess the person's feelings and emotion. We don't know if they fully read the questionnaires before they answer the online survey, and general atmosphere of survey fatigue, because people are generally sick to do the survey because it involves time and effort. Now I will pass the word to you.
Thank you. Our investors have two concerns. Firstly, our investors are questioning companies' strategies because they haven't seen a significant increase in sales revenues. However, concerning about the social and environmental impact has become a general trend, which means the ignorance of sustainable development will only make your company less attractive to your customers. So our investors shouldn't treat company strategies as a way to increase sales, but a way to maintain competitive advantages. Another concern is that our investors are questioning the existence of ethical consumers. To answer that, we need to refer to the definition of ethical consumers. Ethical consumers are the people who buy ethical products. The shop here was founded in 1984 and it has 95 stores in Australia, which means it has a comparatively stable source of customers. And this group of customers are likely to be loyal to Shop Here due to the company's good reputation in the past 35 years. So when Shop Here change their products into ethical products, they are actually changing this whole group of customers into ethical customers. Okay, next slide, please. Next I want to talk about the sustainability reports. In Australia, companies are required to provide sustainability reports. This report is very important because it provides information such as the CSR strategies the company is using, the impact of these strategies, and the most crucial part, the result of these strategies. Stakeholders, especially customers, they are not the people from general reporting initiatives. They will not read the whole report word by word. So what the company needs to do is to emphasize the part that we want our customers to read at most, which is the result part. For example, like how many animals are saved because of the restriction of using food, and how many workers' lives are improved because of the new strategies. When our customers see this result, they will realize that they are actually helping improve the environment and people's lives. And using commercials and social media can be a good way for Shop Here to achieve this, due to because since they already have an e-commerce platform. So this is all for my part. I'll pass to John.
Okay, to sum up, right, in a nutshell, based on our findings, CSR and social influence are the top factors which result in people, like why people they want to like purchase or buy ethical products. So as such, right, like what my teammate Hui Jiao has said, sustainability report is actually very important, because ultimately, right, consumers, they want trust and assurance. So by knowing how the organization performs, by knowing the results of the CSR strategies and also like other strategies of sustainable development, right, it gives consumers extra confidence, like in purchasing and buying ethical products, and subsequently, right, this increases the likelihood of consumer retention as well. And as a result, right, consumers will then refer to their friends, families, and also like other people, since they are like sort of like easily influenced by people around them lah. So with that, we concluded our team's presentation. So yeah, we have come to the end.
Okay, thank you. So my question is related to this sustainability report, right? Is it who going to produce this? Shop Here or the government?
It's the company.
The company.
Yeah, company is the one who can.
So I can care about anything, right? Or it's a marketing thing, or what?
It's actually related to accounting.
accounting.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it, right?
Because what part do you want to know? Can you?
You should let me know. I'm a CEO. I pay you money, right? No, my question is very simple as a CEO, right? Tell me what the thing I need to do, right? So you say sustainability report, right? So my question is, what do you want me to do? Produce a report or what?
Yeah, the company should provide a sustainability report
To who?
to the public, because sustainability report is actually a disclosure of these strategies, of CSR strategies.
I don't get it, sorry. Tell me more about it, yeah. Normally CSR, we will talk about, plan A, plan B, right? For the sustainability, right? The triple bottom line, right? That's what I understand. So what's a sustainability report is different, right? So, I don't really get it. So what is so important about it and who going to read, right? Is a customer will think that, who will, is it if the reports come out for me, I can write anything there, right? Who can certify me or whatever thing that I'm saying, telling the right thing? Because the factor is CSR, right?
Sustainability.
What kind of proof that you have that sustainability report is the right thing to do?
A sustainability report is mandatory to provide in Australia, and it will be the general reporting initiatives will check whether their information are truthful or not.
So,
sustainability reports, you can provide some valuable informations, but what I'm saying is actually a sustainability report is important, but how we disclose is more important. So that's what I say, that we need to emphasize the part that we want our customer to see, the result part. So what
result?
So like how many animals are we saved? We can convert our achievement to the
How animal we save?
Yeah, like
Okay.
that.
I don't know.
because of the strategy. Yeah, that's what our because customers will not read the
Who's
report.
going to audit it, right? So let's say, from today onward, I don't sell any fur, right? Products, right? My clothing line is all from plastic, recycled stuff, right? So what's the impact, right? I still don't get it, right? And first of all, these are the future thing, right? So unless the first year I do, maybe I know that compared to last year what's happening, right? The only company who do sustainability report is which company do you know? Mark and Spencer. 287 pages. I know very well. I teach sustainability. But I don't see that how can this will help the organization, you see. So I think the link is still missing. The other point I want to bring up, so think about it, right? It's okay, learning purpose. I already say many times, no SPSS table in your report, right? Of course not in the slide. And the other point, someone who present the hypothesis testing, can you go back to that page? Okay, someone telling me that the Spearman number, why there's no relationship, right? Can you help me to explain me more what does it mean?
Because right, for that one, if more than less than 0.5, then show that there's a co-relationship between the 2 points. So if it's more than that, that means CSR plus the purchase intention of the.
More than 0.5 means there's a relationship.
There's no relationship.
Oh, okay. Who teach you that?
I read it.
Sorry, Spearman say more than 0.05, then there's no relationship?
Less than 0.05. No, less than 0.5.
That one is not the Spearman, right? It's a significance. It's totally different thing. The blue sky is totally out. From a limited understanding of statistics, right? Spearman number means Spearman number. It's everything is valid, even though 0.1. The only thing that we prove that the spiral number is right or wrong depends on the significance, or we call the p-value, right, on the last column. Are you misunderstand or?
I think I misunderstood.
So it seems like you doesn't do the analysis properly. So, because also very interesting, right? You say no relationship, then suddenly you say that no CSI is important, right? So I'm a bit confused.
With social, CSR with social.
Sorry, CSR with social does it mean? Share with me the CSR with social. Social influence, is it? Why social influence is more?
Because since I misunderstand.
Okay, which one is a dependent variable, by the way?
Dependent is an ethical purchase.
Then how come social and CSR? These two are independent variables, right? Why you try to study that both independent variables? We only do hypothesis testing with independent variable and dependent variables. There's no study that independent variable and independent variable. So I think the analysis is not correct at all. Alright, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Actually, I got a few more questions.